Established about 20 years, and we deliver project services and business consulting services to both the public and private sectors. We do this in property and infrastructure. We deliver infrastructure projects, soft projects, do feasibility studies and the like for both, like I said, the public and private sectors. I've been invited here to speak on behalf as an end user of online computing and LondonCloud, of which the stand is directly outside here, and basically share with you our experiences since we've moved to the cloud, how it's helped us shape our business and how we hope it's going to shape our business in the future. So why CPC moved to the cloud? Well, it was made a little bit easy because our current servers are coming to the end of a life cycle. I think like everybody who is ITFA will realise that servers have an infinite life of about, finite life, sorry, of about 3 to 5 years. Ours were at the top end of that 5-year life cycle. So we had to put in a new solution, and we went to online computing, who are our current providers, to ask, you know, do we need, I think we had about 9 servers. So it was going to be a major infrastructure cost to us to replace these servers. We deliver, as I said, we're a project management and business consulting company, so we heavily rely upon remote workers. Most of the people in our company are all over the country. We have offices in Glasgow, Cardiff, Manchester and London. So we are quite used to being on client sites, and as such, giving people the ability to be able to work on those sites just as easy as in the office was important to us. We have imminent international work. That imminent international work has actually come to fruition. We're now delivering work, hopefully, in Saudi Arabia, Libya and Chile. Again, how are people going to be able to deliver projects when in foreign countries sat in client sites? This was obviously an important consideration to us. And flexible working is becoming commonplace. I mean, we get so much more requests now in our company for people that want to take the kids to school on a morning, want to bring them home on an evening. Maternity work, I'm not advocating you should work while on maternity leave, but some people want to, just to give people the flexibility to be able to work. I was recently in holiday in New York over Christmas, and I was able to work there just as easily as if I'd have been in London. One other thing, and I'm sure if you're an end user this is very frustrating, is program version control. We had bought computers over probably a space of 10 years. We had Windows, I think we went from Windows 2000 up to XP and Vista. We had versions of Office 2003, 2007. I'm in finance myself, and crazily, even in our finance team, we had people on Excel 2003, 2007. When we were trying to share documents, we were having version control problems because one computer was bought later than another one. So licensing and version control was a big priority for us to look at as well. And despite the fact that all our servers needed to move, just last year we also needed to move Office. And a bit of background there, we actually needed to move Office twice. We had to get out of our accommodation that we were in, go into a temporary accommodation, and then move to our ultimate accommodation 1 month later. As you can imagine, the costs of moving our servers to the temporary office, resetting them up just to then move again, was 2 major project costs that had to be taken into consideration. And it was important to us that if we did move to this solution, that every single piece of software that we used, and we have QS specialist software, we have accounting specialist software, finance specialist software, was all able to run from one location with one login. It was also a big consideration of ours. So when you put all of those things that I've listed out there and you put them into one solution, the solution sort of chooses itself. And there's only one solution that can pretty much do all of that. Now, I don't know if anybody is used to dealing with Citrix. We used to have Citrix, and we used to access our servers remotely our own servers into our office. And some people say, well, isn't this just a trumped up Citrix delivery? It's so much more to us than just that. The clever stuff that I'll come on to later that we have experienced over and above just remotely logging into your desktop from work, this cloud solution, as I'll come on to, is just so much better at it. How we chose online computing. Well, online, to be fair, were our current IT service providers, and they were already delivering a very good job. Online came to us last year saying that they teamed up with LondonCloud and were delivering a product through what they branded LondonCloud to do this whole new delivery of cloud. And we were a perfect fit for them, as we were already a Citrix user. We were a client used to remotely logging into servers. So they came to us. As I say, we were existing Citrix users. They obviously understood our current needs. That helped us choose them. They understood what it was that we wanted, and we needed it quickly. Before I jumped into bed, as it were, with online, though, they showed their product to me in great detail, and actually they partnered with an established provider of this solution that was already delivering it in America. I actually got to meet the CEO who'd come in from San Diego in America to explain the technical side of it, which I am not a techie, I don't profess to be, but the solution and the fact that they were already delivering it to hundreds of companies for many years across America gave me great confidence in the product, that it wasn't just a brand new product I was about to sign and we were going to be the test customers, as it were, that this had already been rolled out in America. Speed and capability of their staff obviously was something. Funnily enough, we just did an upgrade of our finance system only yesterday. And the guy that came in from that company said what a pleasure it had been working with online, that they'd answered his questions and got him logins. There was no 2 or 3 hour waits. I'd obviously given online pre-notice that we were doing this upgrade, and we've always found them to be very, very efficient and very capable. And online are affiliated with the Cloud Industry Forum, obviously, which sets out to promote transparency and trust. So all of their documentation and contracts that are given have been pre-approved by that forum. The main bit, our actual user, well, our different version of Windows and Office, that has now been completely eradicated. We are all on exactly the same version of Windows. We are all on exactly the same version of Office. And I think that is so important. And when you log in, every single person in your company is looking at the same product as you. The licensing issues that we used to have just been taken away from us. We pay on effectively a month-by-month sort of contract. So if we have 20 people that are, I think we've got 40 users. But if one of those doesn't happen to log in for an entire month, why that would be, I'd probably want to know. But if they didn't log in for an entire month, there would be no licensing charge, I believe, on that person. So licensing issues have been taken away from us, and the amount of time we used to spend trying to license our products and make sure that we'd got all the right licenses for the right PCs at the right time, all of that has disappeared. We have no major IT infrastructure costs to budget for ever again, hopefully. We have no room that's air conditioned down at the bottom of the office that's got 10 servers in, and I can't imagine. I did have the cost in front of me, what it was going to cost to implement these new servers into our offices, and it was just a huge cost. And then to have to budget that out again in 5 years' time, as the finance guy, didn't impress me at all. So having basically a one-off project cost to just do it once. Now, as I said, we moved office twice, so we would have literally had that cost 2 times within the period of 6 weeks. So what that's told us is when we move office, whether it's our Glasgow, Cardiff, London, Manchester office, whenever we move any of those offices, we will never again have an IT cost for doing it. You could virtually literally do it yourself. You unplug your computer and plug it in at the next location. As long as you've got an internet line, it would be that simple. We're benefiting from better servers than we would have ever afforded ourselves. We're an SME company. We would have never invested in the enterprise-grade equipment that we're now using. So the equipment that is made available to you is the kind of equipment that you would associate with very, very large organisations and banks, because they've got to use this equipment to deliver to anybody, not just SMEs. So actually the quality of the servers that we're running on is far superior than what we would have actually purchased. And as I touched on earlier, we pay for what we receive. It's almost like a pay as you go. We, you know, if there's obviously a fixed cost, but when it comes to people logging in and off the system, we only pay for anybody that's logged in that month. If anybody's going on a sabbatical or maternity leave is a good example where you wouldn't expect people to be logging in every single month. You can keep that user there. The user can log in at any given moment without actually having to pay for an ongoing cost for the 9 months to a year that they're actually not there. And they're never too impressed when they log in a system and seeing they're being removed when they're on maternity leave. So it gives them that access. Again, as I've already covered, we've eradicated any worries or internal cost in delivering licenses. We, as I stated earlier, we deliver an awful lot of public contracts. We have to tick an awful lot of boxes on management systems, business continuity, disaster recovery plans. This was the easiest business continuity and disaster recovery procedure we've ever written, because now everything we've got is off-site. You could blow up all 4 of our offices and we could work out Starbucks tomorrow. You could go, you know, into an international country and you could log in. We can lose internet connectivity in any of our offices and we could still deliver this solution anywhere in the world. It is so easy not to have to write manual after manual of a disaster recovery plan when you say, well, all our servers are in a data center which is backed up in a different data center and we've got 7 version backup control. Just speak to our IT company. It just makes that for us and the type of contracts that we deliver so much easier. We used to be on Citrix. I don't know if any of you have used a similar Citrix solution to what we used to do, but the frustrating thing, even though you could remotely access your office, was that if I went to my brother's house in New York and I plugged in his printer, I would have to ring the IT company to put the driver of that printer onto our servers to make it run. That's very frustrating, and you know, you eternally get problems when you've got a pick list of about 300 printers across your company. You have to find out the one that you're using. The very clever thing about the cloud is you use anybody's laptop, you log in, and that laptop, it immediately maps the C drive and it immediately maps any of their peripheral devices without the need to go back to the IT company and say, you know, can you add this printer? Put a printer in, it instantly detects it and it instantly prints, which when you're in a foreign country and you know your servers are somewhere else, I find that's almost magic from my perspective. The ability to use it anywhere in the world, not just from a computer, but from a tablet and smartphone that has an internet connection. We use this, I have this on my iPad, I have it on my iPhone. I wouldn't suggest writing an Excel spreadsheet on your iPhone, but for moving around and you forgot to attach a file to an email, it only exists on your servers, and being able to log in to your service from your iPhone and attach something and send it, is brilliant. I mean, you know, a BlackBerry can't do that per se. You can only forward on a document if you've already got it in your email. You can't go and look for it within your files. So to be able to actually log in to the full system on your iPhone or on your iPad and use Microsoft products, not only that, but specialist products, 3 CAD system products, we found invaluable. And it also eradicated the need for us to spend a lot of money on IT equipment. We can have very simplistic PCs and laptops that no longer need latest version of Office and all of the things that you normally have preloaded on your laptop to make it work. You could get the cheapest standard laptop you ever can imagine, and as long as it's got an internet connection, you'll get everything delivered. So again, the main concern now for our laptops and PCs is how light are they, so that people can carry them around. Which means we've been able to recycle older equipment, as our old equipment that you normally throw away and say, well, that's past its shelf life, we can now just wipe it and actually reuse it. So rather than run out and having to buy lots of laptops and PCs, we've just been able to wipe some of the very old machines, and they're running perfectly well. I think I probably mentioned some of these, but the flexibility that has given is immense, both in sickness, like I said, holidays, maternity leave. I'm not promoting people work on maternity leave, but just the very fact that people can work in any location, whether they're in a client's office, whether they're at home, whether they're abroad, has just really changed everything, the way that we can work. It almost puts us into a 24-hour productivity cycle. And when you're a time-charging business such as us, it actually opens up a greater clock of that time that we can actually be delivering to clients. Version control, again, that was a big thing, and I've mentioned it a few times, but it has just made our operation so much slicker that we're all. And I think the other thing about version control is when the next version of Microsoft Office is released, we will all upgrade on exactly the same day. We won't have this, somebody's gone up, somebody hasn't. All of the products that we get will upgrade at the same time, which again is, if you're used to problems as I am with Excel and version control, it's just brilliant. Our whole BlackBerry servers, in case you're thinking, well, I've got BlackBerry servers, BES servers in the office. Our BlackBerry servers are in the cloud, delivered in the cloud. Like I say, there is not a server or product that our office uses that is not all logged in from one web address. We log in, and everything we use, BlackBerry servers and the lot, are in the cloud. Somebody recently tried to tell me that Office 365 does all this. It doesn't. Office 365 is not a cloud solution as far as I can see. And it makes you, iPad and iPhone can operate. They're great presenting tools, the iPad, especially when with client. The fact that you can now do a PowerPoint presentation logged into your office in front of a client, it's amazing how people's perception of very effectively simplistic things, they just think you're streets ahead. You're sat in front of a client who didn't hardly even know cloud could exist. Now you're showing a Microsoft product on an iPad that you're back in your office. Your client perception, we have found, is greatly increased. You can even use a Mac. I was never a big Mac fan, but you can even use a Mac. I'm now even considering getting a Mac Air myself, because literally everything I do is in the cloud. I just need an internet connection. I don't have to have a local version of any of these products to work. So now, like I say, the iPad, the iPhone, the Mac, they look very pretty. They look very good in front of clients, and we can use them now. Well, before you'd shy away from them, but we could use them. Thank you very much.